Welcome, everybody, to the first edition this season of Valpo Basketball Preview. Along with head coach Bryce Drew, this is Todd Eichow, and certainly great excitement. Basketball season right around the corner. 2 games this week to open up the season, both at home, both good opponents. High expectations, picked first in the league. It's a lot of fun, right?
A lot of fun, a lot of preparation, a lot of work. Very demanding schedule to start, like you said. IPFW on Friday, Iona on Sunday, and then at Rhode Island on Tuesday. So, 3 games, short span here. And if you're a basketball fan, it's a lot of basketball you get to watch on TV.
One good thing, you go into the season, a couple good things. First off, very experienced team, obviously, and great depth. And early on in the season, that's very, very important. As teams are kind of feeling their way through the first few weeks and incorporating freshmen transfers into the lineup, it makes it more difficult. When you have so many guys back and so much experience, it's got to be a little easier getting into the season.
I told myself that going in, we could do a lot of games early because of that. And as you get closer, we've had some injuries, had some guys miss practice. We ended practice with 8 guys at the end of last week, a couple days. And so even though we have experience, it's still a different chemistry, it's a different dynamic when you're adding a couple new players in, and also those players a year older.
One guy who has been injured, he didn't play in the exhibition game, is Victor Nickerson. What's his availability for November?
We go see a doctor this week, and we'll see what they say. On his wrist, he had wrist surgery, and so he's getting close to that time of getting released or not. The problem is his right hand, so obviously you got to shoot and do a lot with his right hand, being right-handed. Hopefully he'll get cleared and then be a day-to-day status on when he could get back in a game.
If there was ever a season to survive an injury for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it would be this year. In the past, you've played a lot of 8-man rotations, some 9-man rotations. I don't think, even going back to when you were an assistant for your dad, you guys were playing 10 and 11-man rotations. You could see that this year, right?
Depending on, obviously, injuries, people getting healthy, and then, how the flow is out there. The more people you add, it does change the flow a little bit. So, if we can play that many guys and keep the same flow, then that would be great to keep minutes down and things like that. But if we're finding, when you get to 10, 11, if it's just, too many people in there, then we might have to cut it back down again.
And with so many guys who will be in the rotation, whether it is only 9 or perhaps 10, that allows you to play maybe at a faster pace, right? You've got the athletes to do it.
Well, I think the shot clock, at 30 seconds, it's not a huge difference, but it's enough to get a few more possessions a game. We definitely will not change our style just because, we might play more guys. We'll definitely still play the same way, and hopefully over the course of 30 games, hopefully our depth will help us.
All right, let's look at the matchups. Start with Friday's game against IPFW, a team that seems like every year it's a close game against them. It was last year at their place. They've got 3 of 5 starters back from that team last year. They are a program that seems to really get up for Valpo, right? And it's no secret. They feature this game as one of their big games of the year, and it's never easy.
They led for over 31 minutes last year when we played them, and Alec Peters had 20 points in the second half to really help us get the lead and hold on and win that game. So we know it's going to be a very competitive game on both ends. Both teams will be playing extremely hard opening night, and just with the game that we had last year, how back and forth it was, I think both teams will be ready to go.
All right, and then on Sunday, maybe even a tougher test. I'm sure a lot of Valpo fans are following the mid-major polls here with Valpo in the top 5 and just about all the mid-major polls. You may see that Iona's in the top 10 in all the mid-major polls. They become a very, very good program.
Excellent. Last year they won 26 games. They have 4 or 5 stars back, plus an ACC transfer that can play right away. And, actually their RPI was higher than ours at the end of last year, even though we won 28 games. And so, they're going to be an excellent team and an RPI team that's going to be better than a lot of the BCS teams out there that we could have played.
And you bring up RPI and schedule. And it's one other point before we let you go here. If you look at the schedule this year, it's clear you have scheduled games that are going to be good RPI games. There's kind of up and down. Oregon, obviously. Rhode Island's going to be a great RPI game. Mention Iona, but those 2 games against Belmont will be great RPI games. Indiana State as well. That has become increasingly more important, right? To get that in the non-conference to show you can beat teams that are in the top 100 when you plan on being an NCAA tournament team.
The schedule is very demanding this year. With the time crunch that some of the games are in, but then also, the caliber opponent that we're playing. And so, our team could actually be better this year in our record, not indicate it going into league, simply because we're playing a much higher caliber team.
All right, good luck this week.
Thanks, Todd.
For head coach Bryce Drew, this is Todd Eichow. Thanks for joining us this week on Valpo Basketball Preview.